What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leader FX back at it again with another market forecast video. And today, guys, we're going to be going over what I'm looking for the upcoming week. Today is currently February 26, 2023. So I'm going to give you guys a quick top-down analysis on what I'm expecting, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here on this monthly time frame from US 30, we can see here that this candle right here is really bearish. So this is the last monthly candle, and we currently have 1 day and 20 hours left until this has closed. So just depending on like what happens in the next few days, that's going to be a real determining factor. If we respect this level of support or resistance turn support, then we could potentially be looking for minor pushes up on the higher time frames. But if we continue to close beneath this area, then that could be a signal that the market can then begin pushing lower. But it is on a monthly time frame, so we just got to be mindful that it's going to take a longer time, right? So here on the weekly time frame, we can see here that we are still sitting at this main level of support. So we need to see here, like I said, the price is going to close beneath, but we won't know how that will close until the end of this week. So here, last week we closed with a little bit of wick exhaustion, but also we had this huge bearish candle. So that lets us know that there's a lot of selling pressure inside of the market, but we also understand that we are now at a current level of support. So we have to be very mindful of that. On a daily, we can see here that price is pretty much just consolidating. We ended Friday with a little bit of wick exhaustion, and we have not surpassed these lows. Once we surpass these lows, break and retest, that's a solidifying indication that the market could then head down. But the story on this area, if I turn my chart on, you won't really be able to see. It's a lot of clutter. But the story here is that every time price came to this area, it bounced up, and there's a high probability chance that we could potentially bounce up from here since we have not broke these lows yet, right? So now we drop down to the 4-hour time frame. We can see here that like I said, we are at this level of support here, and then we can see here that we have formed a bullish variation here. So we had an engulfing candle. This engulfing pattern is letting us know that there's buyers now inside of the market. Also, we can see here that we're starting to have, we had this impulse push down, and we're starting to have like this descending channel type pattern. So we just want to be really mindful of that, because that is a reversal pattern, right? Now on this 1-hour time frame, as we get down to the smaller details, we can see here that we have this black trend line that stems from these 3 points here. So the story on this black trend line is every time price came here, it touched down, it pushed down, and pushed down. So there's high probability chance that the market makes its way back up to this black trend line, that it could potentially push down. But as we know, that we always react to the market. We don't try to predict it. So if price comes here, breaks, retest, then we know that we're going to be heading up to at least this next level of resistance. So we have to take it step by step. But currently, the move that I have right now on the smaller time frames, you can see here on this 30-minute time frame, we had this impulse, and now we're starting to get this correction. But I want to see this correction come at least up to this trend line, and that's why I have this note here to say watch price at this trend line. So from this current area right here is about 100 points up to that area. So that's the bias right now. As long as we stay above this trend line, if we break beneath this trend line, retest it, then we know we're going to continue to go down for these overall sales. Currently, we still are in a bearish market on the 1-hour time frame, so we just have to be mindful of that before we end up looking for buys, right? But on the 4-hour time frame, we did have the indication that there is some bullish pressure in the market right at this area, and we understand that we are at an area of support inside of a consolidating area. So we could potentially see buys. I'll switch my bias for buys once we break above this previous structure high point here and retest either this trend line or this area, and then we could look to carry it further. But at the current moment, like I said, the bias right now is watching price at this trend line. Once we get past this trend line, then we could then reevaluate. So that's what I have for US 30 for the upcoming week. Now I'll go to NAS. NAS is pretty much the same thing. So if I come here on the monthly time frame here, we can see that we had a lot of bullish exhaustion at this area. So that lets us know, okay, price is having a hard time breaking this previous level of resistance on the monthly time frame. So it's letting us know that sellers are in the market for the long term aspect of things, right? On the weekly time frame, just how I've been talking about for the last few weeks, We broke this previous area, and I told you guys we had to come back to retest. So now we broke, and we're getting this retest at this area. So we need to see if price is going to maintain support, or is price going to continue bearish with the in alignment with the overall monthly time frame. On the daily time frame, things look pretty good. Like I said, we're respecting this level of support. So now we need to see, okay, are we going to get some bullish candles that close above this previous candle, indicating that we could then see a push up, or are we going to continue trickling on down for the overall bias on a monthly time frame, right? So as I drop to the 4 hour, you can see here, similar to US 30, we have this like channel type pattern right here, which is an indication of a reversal. So what I'm looking for is I need to see if price is going to respect this blue zone right here one more time, or is price going to come up to this trend line and break above and retest to then go higher, right? But like I said, we take it step by step. So you never want to look too far into the future. Currently, right now, we are sitting at this main level of support. So as long as we break above this level of support retest, then you can carry it up to this trend line right here. So that is a quick, let's see here, 80 points on NAS. So you want to watch price at this trend line. Like I said, if we break and retest this trend line, then we're looking to come up to this blue zone right here. But however, if we respect this trend line and we come up here and we get some weak exhaustion at this area, and then we break and retest this counter trend line, then we could look to take targets at this blue zone, which is kind of in alignment with this overall negative 27 TP based off of this fib structure right here. So we can see here that we have this 100%, and then we drag this down. Price only retraced to 23.6. That's letting us know that it is probably going to be continuation. So I'm overall sell bias on NAS for the week, but I'm only going to shift our buys once we break and retest this trend line to come up here, and then if we break above that zone, then we could look to target areas higher than that. But like I said, for the overall bias, I'm just looking for price to potentially come up to this trend line, break, retest, and then we got a nice sell down to this negative 27 TP. But the current move right now, like as of this moment, is to carry price to this trend line. So once we break above, we probably get a push during the London session up to this trend line for potentially start a New York session tomorrow, and then we'll look for the price action at that area. So I hope this video was super helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next weekly forecast. And also I got a surprise for you guys this week, some breakdowns dropping on Saturday. I hope you guys have enjoyed the office tour and also the day in the life. I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I appreciate you all. I know a few of you guys left comments in the comment section asking about like mentorship and all of that stuff. Just send an email to lidofx2@gmail.com, and then we can talk further about that. But also you can visit www.lidofx.com for my online course. So like I said, I hope this video was super helpful, and I'll see you all in the next one.